Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Liverpool Latest. I am your host, Matt. Before I get into today's video, I would greatly appreciate it if you left a like, left a comment, and even better, subscribe to the channel for more Liverpool news. It would help me, and it would help FanArch as well. I've got a lot to talk about today. So, I didn't upload a video yesterday, but a lot has happened in the international break. A lot has happened in the whole contract transfer window dilemmas that we've been having. First and foremost, I like to call this section Hope and Heartbreak because, well, the hope is that Liverpool, according to Fabrizio Romano, have offered Dominic Szoboszlai a new deal, even though his contract is not up until 2028. They want to lock him down for a long period of time, and I can't blame them. He's been our best player on the team so far this year without a shadow of a doubt. Arguably could become a captain in the near future. So he also goes on to say, let's see how talks go. I, for one, am happy to see that a deal has been offered to him, especially considering the quote-unquote deal that was rumored to have been given to Konate was seemingly false. It's nice to see that we have some what seems to be concrete evidence that Sobo's deal is now in the works, and they just have to, negotiate. And hopefully, there's some good news that comes out of this. Even better news because Real Madrid, who has been eyeing Dominic Szoboszlai, is now at a minimum threat when it comes to picking up one of our best players on the team. You might be asking yourself, there's a lot of hope here. Where's the heartbreak? Well, unfortunately, it's still the international break, and international games are going on. Sadly, Hungary will not be making the World Cup this year after a tough loss, and it bums me out because it seems like they were doing really great. I think they were having like a comeback, or the games were going tit for tat, and unfortunately, and Szoboszlai had a fantastic game. He won 10 of his 13 duels, and 89% of his passes were completed, along with 5 key passes and 5 crosses. The guy is an absolute machine. He's the captain of the team for a reason of Hungary, and unfortunately, they didn't do enough to win. It's just that Ireland was better, and as sucks to say, but we just won't see him make a World Cup appearance, and a lot of people are disappointed in that, myself included. Also a bit disappointed for Milos Kerkez because he also had what seemed to be a pretty solid goal, or a solid contributions as well throughout the match, even leading up to a goal by Barnabas Varga. Excuse me, I can't read sometimes. But he's showed out pretty well in that match, and it's sad. It's sad to see that they're not going to make it. I always want to see Liverpool players show out in the World Cup, and the fact that Dominic Szoboszlai does not get to do that makes me sad. And you can tell in their faces how horrific they felt about the whole thing. I'm heartbroken just talking about it. I think Dominic Szoboszlai in the post-match interviews that someone was giving him, I think he might have said like a total of like 10 words. That's how bummed out he was. And I'm the same way. When something bad happens to me or something rough happens to me, it's hard for me to explain how I feel in that moment just because emotion is so overtaken by me. We're all human after all. So I feel for Kerkez and Szoboszlai, but I do hope that this does not deter him from making a deal with Liverpool as far as his contract extension goes. And I know deep down, at some point in time, he will make the World Cup as with Hungary. So here's some individual that I don't want to see anywhere near the World Cup because, frankly, I have soured on him to the point of what seems to be no return. Georgi Mamardashvili, who is our second goalie in net behind Alisson Becker. Now, as we all know, I love Alisson. Everybody loves Alisson. When Alisson is not in net, we suffer for the most part. It seems as though that is the story once again this year, especially now that Kelleher is no longer on the team, because he was our second. He was arguably the best second we could have asked for, especially because a lot of his later performances for us were often stellar. I don't know what to say more than what I see in front of my eyes right now. Georgia had a match against Spain, and Mamardashvili conceded 4 goals over the course of that match. I believe it was a clean sheet. It goes to show, for me personally anyway, and I'm not trying to start the Mamardashvili hate train, but I'm explaining this to you because I worry if he's willing to give up, 4 goals against what is a pretty solid, Spain team. Spain's always going to be a threat in the World Cup no matter what. They are former World Cup champions after all. If he's struggling with, I'm not really sure how much talent Georgia as a team has, but if he's struggling with the talent that Georgia has against an obviously better opponent in Spain, what does that mean for when he goes back to Liverpool and he has to go back in net while Alisson is still recovering? Now, I thought I saw some news that Alisson could be coming back soon. I did see reports weeks ago that said he could be back in November, the absolute earliest. Well, we're halfway through the month. Where in the hell is my number 1 goalkeeper? Still nowhere to be seen or heard from. So that worries me very much, because if this is the performance Mamardashvili is going to give us, and he has given it to us quite a bit, what does that mean for the rest of our Premier League? Hell, even our Champions League, how do I say this? Our quest for trying to get back into the league in the Premier League and hopefully move forward into the knockout rounds of the Champions League. I personally do not trust Mamardashvili to get the job done. I just don't. He showed me, outside of a couple of really good saves that he's had, and a lot of it's also on the defense. I can't fault that either. But if you want my honest opinion, he showed me little to nothing outside of a few of those instances. I can't, in good conscience, give him any sort of approval going forward after the international break. And we only have a few more days until our next game on Saturday. So I'm hoping there's some good news that Becker might make a start. I highly doubt it. It's just not. The vibes right now, as far as the goalkeeper position go, are not high for me. That's all I have to say. What's also not high is my hope of getting new defenders on the team, because our defense wavers so much. One of those defenders that we are trying to get is from, I believe, Bayern, and his name is Nico Schlotterbeck. He's 25 years old, left-footed center back, and of course, a defender on the team. He's a strong in build, progressive passing, and carrying, and just seems like he's an absolute master of defense when it comes to his pedigree in Germany and the Bundesliga. Now, Liverpool looking for him because there just isn't enough depth in our defense right now. I mean, at most, and this is being nice about it, we have Van Dijk, Konate, who might not even be here come January, or we'll sign a new deal with someone else in January. Bradley, who's iffy at times. Who else? Robertson. Robertson is another one that I question at times as well. And then we have Joe Gomez and a few other guys who are on the bench. I just have no faith, personally speaking, in our defense to get the job done as it stands right now. So we'll have to see if Schlotterbeck is our go-to guy. From what reports say, he's a good tactical fit, could potentially thrive under Arne Slot's system, and I'm not really sure, man. They say he's much closer to quote-unquote peak Van Dijk profile. Now, where have I heard that before? Oh, Jarrell Quansah. Where's he right now? Not on the team, it seems. I don't even know if is he on a loan or did we sell him? I'm not even sure what happened to Jarrell Quansah. Quite frankly, I haven't paid attention to what he's been doing. I hope he's doing well. I didn't necessarily dislike the guy, but he was clearly a younger guy and made a lot of mistakes, and everybody thought he was going to be Virgil Jr., and I don't think that was the case as this point in time right now. So we'll have to see. Also, I was wrong. He was not in Bayern. He's in Dortmund, actually. He has a contract until 2027. He has, in fact, though, rejected an extension from the team, but he's also not available on a free, which sucks because he's going to cost us about $60 to $75 million, which is a lot of money compared to what we have already spent. What I meant to say in terms of Bayern is that Liverpool will have competition in the sense that Bayern is also trying to pick him up. And I'm not sure. He might stay in the Bundesliga in Bayern. I would have no doubt about that, personally speaking. But there are reports that say Liverpool could still potentially make an offer because, after all, they're in the Premier League. It's one of the biggest leagues, if not the biggest league in the world. Guaranteed long-term starting role, for sure, without a shadow of a doubt. A new project for Slot to work with. And last but certainly not least, opportunity to be the future leader in Liverpool. And of course, Liverpool have shown that they can already beat Bayern. So that's the big question is, can we sign Schlotterbeck? Yet to be known, yet to be seen. Haven't seen much news about it other than what I'm reading in front of you right now. That said, there is a potential plan B, which I'm not really sure should be the plan B. I am still all aboard for Mark Gahey to be on the team after the failed attempt to pick him up in the preseason transfer window. So, from what I'm reading, Gahey is the plan B to Liverpool right now because they want to pick up Schlotterbeck as the top defensive target. But people argue, and I probably argue as well, Gahey makes much more sense for Liverpool considering he already has Premier League experience. Obviously, he is a captain at Crystal Palace, so he's a leader already off the bat. And we definitely need another leader on the team in addition to Van Dijk and Robertson, who I believe is assistant captain. Which, by the way, I'm not sure why they gave Robertson assistant captain. No hate towards it. I thought that was a questionable choice when they had other guys who could possibly fit the bill a little bit better, especially after last season. But it definitely reduces the adaptation period that might have to take place as well, because Schlotterbeck, coming from a different league, has to adjust to English-style football. He knows what he's getting into when he steps onto the pitch. I think that is the better option for us, considering that he's also another perfect match, quote-unquote, for Arne Slot with his defensive intelligence, comfortable holding a high line. He's also press-resistant under pressure, good recovery, and he's calm on the ball and a lot of safe passing. And not to mention, he's younger, more athletic, and proven to grow within a club and a world-class level. So, no matter what, January is becoming ever more critical, and we are only a little bit over a month away from January 1st, 2026. So, I'm hoping that we make the right choices. It's a matter of whether or not Palace wants to still get rid of him, or not get rid of him, if they want to still keep him, and if he still wants to stay on Palace. Because it seems all the reports I've been reading from tweets and other reports from other writers in football, he wants to sign with Liverpool. So does Semenyo as well from Bournemouth, which is another ongoing story I've been covering. So we could potentially sign two big names in Gahey and Semenyo. I wonder if it's even worth pursuing someone the likes of Schlotterbeck, but that's just my opinion, considering, like I said, they're more Premier League proven. that's all I have for today's episode of Liverpool Latest. I appreciate you stopping by. Like I said, leave a like, subscribe to the video, and continue to follow me for more Liverpool thoughts, opinions, rumors, news, and so much more. And as always, you'll never walk alone.